Well, good morning. Welcome to Faith Without Religion. This is Frank in Williamsburg, and today we are at entry number 189 in the book Faith Without Religion, The Kingdom Quest. And this entry is titled Renew Your Mind. How much more joy is there in the presence of God than in the presence of the imagination and foolish pursuits and plans of men? If you're spending more time with the whims and fantasies of men than you are with me, what does that say about where your passions lie? The ship's captain has to set the course. He has to know his destination before he sets off. Then he has to continually chart that course and check his position relative to his objective. If he fails to maintain his vigilance, if he is inconsistent in checking his charts and recording his progress, he will invariably lose his way. If you find that you are not going through the same situations, if you find that you are going through the same situations over and over, you can surely see that nothing is ever going to change in this regard unless you do. This is the way that I want things done. So it is you that has to change, says God. You have to change through the renewing of your mind. If you truly think differently, the words you use will be different. The actions you take will be different. Your goals will be different. They will all lead you inexorably on the path to fulfilling your eternal destiny. Why waste time with the temporal? It was you who perceived and understood that if eternity is real, you're already in it. Once that level of revelation is attained, to then continue with the temporal is fruitless. Temporal focus is only for those lacking revelation regarding their eternal positioning. You must now use your new thinking to pursue your eternal purpose, to bring hope where there is none, to be an advocate for the disadvantaged and the discarded, to help others to connect with their divine purpose as the purposes of this world are of no consequence. Make your decisions based only on their eternal impact. This can never be measured based on a perceived inconvenience or interruption in your own equilibrium. If your life looks well balanced, in accordance with the world's perspective, you have obviously slipped back into the box of conformity. There is no glory to my name through those conformed to the ways of this world. Use this new thinking consistently in your life. Change is as simple as changing your thoughts. Changing your thoughts is not a question of adding new thoughts and expecting them to coexist with the old thoughts. No, the new thoughts have to replace the old thoughts permanently. The old thoughts have to be abandoned and completely eliminated. Every time the old thoughts try to resurface, and they will, they have to be captured, stopped in their tracks before they can result in an action. Then they are replaced by the new thought and acted upon immediately, which will then strengthen the root system of the new thought. This process will ultimately cause the complete demise of the old thought system. This may not be news to you, but be careful that you have not simply increased the size of your forest of thought trees. If you have planted your new trees alongside the old ones and have not tended to the new ones consistently enough to strengthen their roots, The old ones will keep sprouting new leaves and even dropping new seeds, says God. The level of thinking required to prevent this takes focused effort and separateness from conventional thinking. Every meal you eat should be a celebration of life. It should be a time of thanksgiving and joy and never be taken for granted. When were you last truly grateful for the blessing of a meal? There are so many that would love to share in your favor, and yet you seldom give them a thought. How aware are you of my plans, my calendar, my festivals, my cycles? All of these things should be of more focus to you. Otherwise, I would not be revealing them to you. Eliminate any thinking that portrays you in a worldly perspective. Walk in the confidence that you are a hand-picked ambassador in my service. You are truly to be a light to the world. Not a flicker or a glimmer, but a light. The light that I provide to the earth never diminishes. I cause the earth to move to promote rest and growth, but the light is always present, as should yours be. This is only possible through spirit-based thinking. Earthly, temporal thinking always has the root of darkness, as the fallen nature of man is at its core. You must rise above the fallen nature and center your focus on me and let the Spirit guide your thoughts. This has to be a voluntary surrender of the flesh, as we will not take control by force. That is the way of the deceiver. Chart your course, set sail with supreme confidence, and consistently monitor your positioning. Life will look very different to you quickly because you will be regarding it from an eternal perspective. In every believer, I have created a plenteous tree of magnificent potential. Now tend it properly and watch the succulent fruit burst forth. Eat, share, and distribute seeds to others who are ready to plant and develop their own trees. I speak of these things to you today in the knowledge that once you read these words, you will understand that you are ready to embark on the journey. There have been many false starts and foundering, but these have just equipped you better. Any recent intensity of enemy activity is their final attempt to dissuade you from the truth. Step forward in boldness. Maintain constant contact with the Spirit. The only way to build up the Spirit within you is through interaction with my Spirit that I set apart for your instruction. Self-instruction leads only to self-destruction. This is a law and must not be overlooked. Personal development can be a valuable thing, but only when combined with the truth of my Spirit will it lead to glory. You have nothing to fear from the scoffers, says God. Be a beacon, shine brightly, and never permit the darkness suffered by others to negatively impact your purpose. If they try, you can always increase the brightness of your light. Darkness is darkness and all the same. None of it can stand in the presence of true light. The world cries out for true wisdom. They keep searching, but in vain. For they do not really know what it is that they're searching for. Only the actions of right thinking, holy and set apart children will lead them on the right path. Those actions are the physical manifestation of the truth of my word, walked out in loving humility, which is the only true power available to an earthly person in a physical body. All other illusions of power are corrupt. My thoughts, words, and wisdom are both divisive and decisive. They cut to the heart of the truth and separate those called from the deceptions of the world. Share them in spirit and in truth, with the humble self-assuredness of those that know that they know. Be prepared to witness a massive outpouring of power and grace and glory, and the time for divine positioning is upon you. The plans of men are being set aside, and those counted among my true servants, few though they may be, are entering into a time of unprecedented ascendancy that will confound the so-called wisdom of the world. I have nothing to add to that today. I'm going to encourage you to rewind this video and watch it in small segments. There's just so much wonderful truth and light in there. And I just know that God is speaking to you today through this message. You just have to get with him quietly and find out what it is that he wants you to know from this, and what it is that he wants you to do with the knowledge. Well, that's all I have for today. You have a blessed day, and we'll see you back here again tomorrow.